In our story today, Dylan has a wobbly tooth. Have you had a wobbly tooth? Let's find out what happens. Dylan woke up in the morning, but something was not right. Dylan had a wobbly tooth. Dylan washed his hands and face, got dressed, went downstairs and walked into the kitchen for his breakfast. His mum gave him some toast and some orange juice. Dylan poured himself some cereal. "I have a wobbly tooth," he said. "It's okay. It happens," said his mum. "Why?" asked Dylan. When children are young, they have their first teeth. As they grow older, their baby teeth fall out and they get some more, said his mum. Dylan ate his toast, but it felt very strange. Dylan wiggled the tooth with his tongue. After breakfast, Dylan ran over to his dad, who was milking the cows. "Daddy, I have a wobbly tooth," he said. "Wow. That means you are getting a big boy," his dad smiled. "Hello, cows. I have a wobbly tooth," Dylan said. After seeing his dad, Dylan went with his mum to collect some eggs from the chickens. Dylan counted the eggs and wobbled his tooth as he counted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. "Hello, chickens. I have a wobbly tooth," Dylan said. After collecting the eggs, Dylan's mum drove over to Sam's house. Sam's dad pushed him down the path to Dylan's mum's car. "Hello, Sam. I have a wobbly tooth," said Dylan. Dylan's mum drove them both to school. She parked the car and took out Sam's wheelchair. She helped Sam out of the car and pushed him into school while Dylan walked beside them. "Dylan has a wobbly tooth," she told the teacher. But Dylan and Sam were already talking to Jane and Jake. "I have a wobbly tooth," said Dylan. "Have you?" asked Jake. "Yes," said Dylan. "When your tooth falls out, you can put it under your pillow and the tooth fairy will give you some money," said Jane. "Really?" said Dylan, excitedly. "I got £1, said Jane. "So did I," said Jake. First, they played with the water. They tipped the water over wheels that spun around very fast. They dropped things in the water to see what would float and what would sink. And all the time, Dylan was wobbling his tooth. Then they played with the sand. They buried things and then dug them up again. There was sand everywhere. And all the time, Dylan was wobbling his tooth. The children had a story about pirates on the sea. The teacher made funny voices and all the children laughed. And all the time, Dylan was wobbling his tooth. Then they all sat down to eat some fruit. Jane and Sam both had bananas. Jake had an orange and Dylan had an apple. Dylan took a big bite and his tooth fell out. "It's out! It's out!" he shouted. When Dylan's mum came to collect him and Sam, Dylan had his tooth wrapped up in a piece of tissue. "It came out, Mummy. My tooth came out," he said. Dylan smiled all the way home. When Dylan went to bed, he didn't want to go to sleep. He wanted to thank the tooth fairy for the money she was going to give him. Dylan waited and waited and waited. Eventually, he fell asleep. When Dylan woke up in the morning, he was very excited. He picked up his pillow, and there was a big shiny pound coin. Dylan smiled and ran downstairs to tell his mum and dad. The tooth fairy was very kind to Dylan by giving him £1. Let's have a little quiz. Are you ready? When Dylan woke up, what did he find? What did Dylan's mum give him for breakfast? What did Dylan pour himself? Why did Dylan's mum say teeth fall out? What was Dylan's dad doing? What did Dylan do with his mum? What did Jane say would happen once the tooth had fallen out? Who would give him some money? What did the children play with first? What did the children play with next? What was the story about? How did the tooth fall out? How much money did Dylan find under his pillow? Did you get all of them? Let's check the answers. When Dylan woke up, what did he find? Answer: he had a wobbly tooth. What did Dylan's mum give him for breakfast? Answer: toast and orange juice. What did Dylan pour himself? Answer: cereal. Why did Dylan's mum say teeth fall out? Answer: because another one was coming. What was Dylan's dad doing? Answer: milking the cows. What did Dylan do with his mum? Answer: collect eggs from the chickens. What did Jane say would happen once the tooth fell out? Answer: he would get some money. Who would give him some money? Answer: the tooth fairy. What did the children play with first? Answer: water. What did the children play with next? Answer: sand. What was the story about? Answer: a pirate. How did the tooth fall out? Answer: when Dylan was eating an apple. How much money did Dylan find under his pillow? Answer: £1. Don't forget, if you like this story, please like and subscribe. And if you would like to buy the books, they are available on Amazon. Just search for The Little Scamps. See you next time.